Afternoon, guys. First video for a week or so. I'm still feeling a bit so I haven't really been out much, but it suddenly sprung to mind because I've just been on Facebook, and you know, everyone has their favourite bit of kit, whether it be a sleeping bag, a tent, or hammock, or whatever, and that's fine, absolutely fine. I want to talk about this one, and the reason I want to talk about this one is because it's a lot of people's favourites. Me, I don't particularly like it. The British Army Arctic Bag. This is the later one, the Mark II, so it's the synthetic rather than the feather down-filled one. And well, where do we start? The pack size. Yes, it can go a little smaller. I'll have to sit on it while doing the straps to scratch it much more, because that's quite compressed already, believe it or not. So even with my longback Bergen, this takes up nearly half the space in there. It's just too big, really. The other thing, it's a shade over 3 kilos. Now, for the temperature rating and so on, for not spending a terrible amount of money, I can get a bag that is half this size and half this weight. But I've never slept in one, and a lot of people rant and rave about them, and they are cheap for what they are, so I thought I'd give it a go. I spent one night in it and wasn't over happy, but I thought, you know, give it its due, so I have used it a bit more since that. But to be honest, from the very first time out, I think I knew it wasn't for me. And that wasn't because of the pack size, and it wasn't because of the weight, although of course they are an issue. I think it's the design that doesn't work for me. I'll get him out and I'll show you why I think it doesn't work for me. Right, central zip for a hammock and whatever, great, I like that. And I think if I was using it in warmer weather, where I could have the centre unzipped, maybe halfway down, top flapped open, let some heat out, it would be comfortable. But to use it as it's designed, properly zipped up, here's my issue, and this really is my issue, it's not really the bag's issue. The hood is really small. I suppose that's, you know, to help with heat retention, but not only is it small here, the opening, but it's not deep either. So even if you've got your head right back into it, it's still like this. My problem with that is I like my pillow in the hood section. If I don't put my camping pillow in the hood of my sleeping bag, I end up waking up in the night because the pillow scooted off all over the place. Put it in here, it stays in there. It's just not big enough to put my pillow in, really. Simple as that. When I tried it with the pillow outside and just my head in there, I was going to say, it's not big enough for me. Maybe I've got a big head. It has been said. But you see what I'm saying? It's not a deep hood. It's not a wide hood. I didn't feel enclosed and warm in it because it was just like this. It's just like putting a hood up on a parka. The other thing, when it was fully zipped up, I found this bit, because the hood is small, was too close, and I kept waking up because either these corners or these toggles, or you can't quite see it from here because of the way it's folded up, but this is the baffle, the zip baffle, the corner of this, jabbing me here, jabbing me in the face. It's just too close. As soon as you move about, the bitch doing this. Oh, that drove me up the wall. So I ended up unzipping it to about here to make the hole bigger, but then you've sort of defeated the object because you're opening up the bag and letting the worm out. The other thing, I do tend to turn it over a fair bit, especially when I'm just settling down. And in a sleeping bag, I like to be able to turn onto my shoulder, but inside the bag, not rolling the whole thing. As I said, I keep my pillow in the hood. So, of course, if you roll the whole bag, your pillow is behind you rather than under you. I like to be able to turn within the bag. And although this is a generous size, I don't know whether it's me, but it's generous across the shoulder, but it doesn't seem generous front to back. I think that makes sense. And because the way it's cut, it is almost like a jacket with shoulders and the hood. It very much wants to sort of stay with your body. So when you turn, it will try and come with you rather than turn inside of it. So I just could not get comfortable in it. I think the shape is just wrong for me. I'm not really having a pop at the bag, it's just not, we just don't get along. The only other thing I will say, which I was quite surprised at, when I was looking them up, and all the spec online and all that old tosh, this is meant to be rated to -15, this particular model. Now, last time I used it, it was sort of chillyish overnight, but it was about sort of 4 degrees, 5 degrees, something like that. And I was okay, I was warm. It was in a bivvy as well. And to my mind, if it's 5 degrees outside, and I'm in a -15 bag, and then in a bivvy, which they reckon can add up to 5 degrees, I should have cooked. I should have absolutely sweated myself to pieces. And I wasn't. I was just comfortably warm. So I don't think the rating on this is -15. I wouldn't want to be in it at -15. So I was plenty warm enough, but it was only 4 or 5 degrees. It did not feel any warmer than some of my other bags that are rated at -3, -5. I would never, if I hadn't been told, have believed this was a -15 bag. Who knows? Who knows? I so wanted to like it, and I so like the idea of it, but now I've had it a while, used it a few times. Well, I can't say I fell out of love with it, because I was never in love with it, really. It's okay. It does the job. It's too big. It's too heavy. I don't think it's warm as it states, although for most conditions it'd be warm enough for most people. I don't think the shape suits my style of sleeping. I don't know. I'm going to give it a bit more time, and maybe a few more camps. But at this moment in time, I'm even thinking about giving it away. Someone will love it, I'm sure. But it's just not the one for me, I'm afraid. So, what's your thoughts, people? I know there's a lot of people out there that absolutely love these. And I can sort of see why, which is why I bought one. But it just doesn't suit me. Weird, isn't it? Put your thoughts in the comments below. Be interested to hear from you. I'll see you soon, guys.